I'm gonna call you. But if you come by, I won't call you. Okay? Don't ever come by here. Okay?
Welcome to the Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike the Man Crawford. What's up, Mike?
What up, dog?
Hey, how's it going, sir?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm good. Do you ever watch the local news or read local news? It's bananas.
I try not to because of where I locally live, but yeah, I see the local news.
Dude, there's a baby that was born near us that it came out in the news that it was born with no eyelids. So this little boy was born with no eyelids. So they used the skin from the circumcision to patch his eyes back, bro. He's completely fine. He's just going to be a little cockeyed. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lindenmuth. That joke was from my 9th grade physical science teacher. And it's still one of the best jokes I've got to date in my arsenal.
Oh, man. Local news. Local news is crazy. I got a local news story for you.
Okay. Go ahead and bring us down, Mike.
What's local news for you? Because I'm going to be local. I'm coming to Cali, man. Fantasy draft. I'll be there.
You're coming for sure?
Booked. Yes, man.
All right. Well, you were doing it like you were messing with me. I kept, you were dancing. By the way, you're a terrible liar. I knew you were coming.
You did?
I did.
Man, I wanted it to be live on air. And you already
I know everything, Mike. I know everything. You can't be in cahoots with a person I'm married to and think I'm not going to figure it out.
I was trying to keep it, man. I was trying to keep it under wraps until we got live. I suck at this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I wanted more of a reaction than that. And it fell right into the local news story because I could transition off of it. But
just so everybody knows, Mike was doing his damn best job right before we started recording. I was like, man, it sucks you're really not going to be out here for the draft, fantasy football draft. And he's like, yeah, man. Well, I said I was going to try. It won't be a bummer. You're the worst liar ever.
Well, my bad.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's right, man. That's right. But yeah, so that's...
Oh, man, that's so exciting, though. I wasn't actually sure. Man. I was like, man, there's a chance he might not be here. Oh, man, I'm going to plan so many activities for us. It's going to be fantastic.
And I think I get there early on Friday, so I should have a lot of the first 3 days because the fourth day the plane leaves late. So
okay, so you're coming on Friday, leaving Monday or Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leaving the 23rd, and it's like 4 in the afternoon. So
oh man, depending on what time you get here Friday, maybe we could just go straight to Magic Mountain.
Let me see. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Not necessarily. You don't have to look up your freaking schedule right now, Mike. You idiot.
Bro, don't worry about me, man. Look, I'm still here. I'm
I
here
know.
Alive in the flesh with you. Don't worry.
I'm sorry for calling you an idiot. You're not an idiot. But that's exciting.
Idiotic stuff. I'm not mad about that.
That's exciting. Oh man, we should do like a
I get the draft in person for the first time in a good while, so this should be fun.
Yeah, first time in years. If you fall asleep at this one, then you're really not going to have an excuse. I'll be kicking you. There's no 3-hour delay.
And you don't have to drive as far because I'm coming into Burbank. So.
Oh, okay. That'd be nice.
Let me not say all that live on the air. This is recorded. Somebody might be trying to kill me or something, bro.
I don't think anybody's going to try to kill you in Burbank.
No, I don't land to midday. I land about 3:00. So.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Oh, that's fine. Well, dude, so that's amazing. That's very, very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to have to plan some stuff. Maybe a pre-draft and post-draft episode. We'll do a before and after. Maybe a little, not even a weekly episode. We'll figure something out.
I was about to say, if you didn't have to run the thing, I would say we can do a live one, but you have to run the thing. Sorry to say, people, this is our fantasy commission. All those who are weekly listeners, this is what we all have to deal with for a whole fantasy season. So.
I am only one man. I'll figure something out. I'll figure out something cool. Maybe I'll do some commentating or something like that. We'll figure something.
But look, I'm going to win a fantasy draft. And just for everybody who doesn't know,
sniffed the board. You've never even sniffed the podium.
Don't worry. This year, I'm at the top of the podium.
So, dude, check this out. So we have a fantasy football league that started out as pretty much just my family, and obviously we've incorporated other members of our family. So we have Mike is involved. We have one other person who isn't related in our league of 10, and it's called "You're All Fucked in the Head" because it's apropos for our family. It was a family league, and anybody involved is said. Messed in the head. So, dude, I started this league in 2008. And the trophy has 6 spots on each side. So I'm like, the whole time I'm thinking like, dude, it's super, like, there's no way we're even going to play fantasy football this long. So we've only got 5 spots left. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to run out of spots here. And I got to get my name on this trophy. Like, I can't only, like...
This year,
there's
Mike
only a couple of teams.
The trophy, bro.
I think there's only maybe 3 or 4 teams that haven't made it on at all. And you were one of them. You only got 5 years left, Mike. You got to put the pedal to the metal.
I don't need 5 years. This year, the Cowboys are going to take me to the championship, bro.
Oh, my goodness. No. We'll do a deeper dive into the fantasy football draft, but no.
I know. The real Cowboy championship, my Cowboys. The Cowboys I draft.
You're going to be a sad
and
little
just so
man
the whole
at the end
world
of the football
knows,
season.
Yes, I am a fan. But we'll get there later.
Oh, speaking of getting there later, dude, do you realize that 10 years ago was Carmageddon for Southern California? Do you remember what Carmageddon was? Did you even hear about it?
No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Because a little over 10 years ago, there was a thing that they called Carmageddon, the local media went into, and it was...
Local media today.
Yeah, so they did a stretch. We went off on a fantasy football tangent there for a while. It was going to segue nicely. But... so here on Southern California, we have the 405 freeway, which is like the main in and out freeway of Southern California. Right smack dab in the middle of Los Angeles, they were shutting down a stretch of 10 miles for a whole weekend, like a 3-day weekend. And people were going absolutely bananas. Like, don't even leave your house. Traffic is going to be so insane because you can't use the main freeway for Los Angeles. Blah, blah, blah. Like, 10 years ago, that was the biggest, craziest thing was, like, the traffic was going to be so bad.
Yeah, but that should have been illegal. I was there. I know what California traffic is on a regular day.
Yeah.
If you shut down the 405, people should be allowed to work from home. If that was literally a thing, going to be a citywide thing or like a statewide thing, then companies should have been letting It's no way you getting around. Like,
dude, it was doing? Over the course. It was a weekend. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was when they were demolishing an old bridge at like the Mulholland Drive Pass.
Not big of a deal. The 405 shut down. Not big. Where are you going to go?
No. I'm saying the timing of it. They did it whenever they could to where it was like, it was obviously over summer, July, and it was over the course of a weekend, like summer weekend. When is a better time to do it? There isn't one.
There's not a good time to shut down the 405.
That's true, but just in consideration of like, that was like traumatizing as what are we going to do? Traffic's going to be so bad. And now it's like, we just got out of a lockdown for over a year. It's like things
Because you weren't even like
changed
in
a
the city,
there.
and I was in traffic at like midnight coming home one night, like to your crib.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like,
well, dude, being in construction, like working night shifts, and dude, there's nothing more frustrating than getting off work at like 3 in the morning. Actually, there's nothing more frustrating than going to work at 3 in the morning and hitting traffic and being like, dude, what the fuck? I woke up this early and I'm still hitting traffic. The second thing that sucks is when you're trying to get home after a night shift at like 3 or 4 in the morning and there's traffic and you're like, dude, I just want to get home. Try not to fall asleep. I've been working 16 hours. You're like, I'm exhausted, man. I just want to get home. And then you're just stuck in traffic. God forbid you got to stop and get gas now because the trip's going to take too long. Oh.
Because I'm used to bad traffic. I'm not used to bad traffic at midnight. Like when I get on the highway at midnight here, I ain't got to worry about traffic unless there's some construction going on. Ain't going to be no traffic at midnight. We're going to be moving.
Yeah, LA is pretty condensed, and there's always something to do, so you got those issues. I don't know. So no Carmageddon for you. That's all right. I was curious if you even heard about it. Which ends up being funny because what my wife and I ended up doing was we're like, oh, we have this great idea. Let's take the Surfliner train down the coast. We'll go hang out for the weekend down at the beach, and then we'll take the train back on Sunday afternoon. We'll just get out of LA. Ha 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 ha. So we do that. Turns out everybody else had the same idea. So we were butts to nuts coming home on the train on Sunday. Sunday evening train on the Surfliner. Thank goodness we got on because of the way
imagine that works. In COVID season.
Oh, wouldn't happen. But we're on this train, and the way that trains work is we got on one of the first stops on the Surfliner. The way the train works is they get so many people on, and then they stop letting people on. So, considering that everybody was packed, we were coming up the coast, getting to like, we'll say Long Beach, which is maybe about like 40 miles away from where we were living in the valley at the time. And they were not letting people on. Like, sorry, I know you have your weekend bags, like, to go back to work or go home or whatever you came down for this trip. You're going to have to figure it out. Like, rent a car or something. It was jacked up, dude. Jacked up.
That's dirty.
It was dirty. And I'm like, what are they supposed to do? And people are like, I don't know. That's their problem now. Like, dude, there's no backup plan for a train. There's no backup plan for a bus.
Except for the next one.
Yeah, like you really have to be on an elevated level of money to be able to bounce back from missing a mode of transportation that you scheduled.
Yeah, but when you at the point of having to schedule, that means you ain't want to do no other mode of transportation. So,
or that's your only choice.
So yeah, that's not good. I used to hate missing the bus.
Oh yeah, that's
missing the bus.
Missing the bus was the worst. Like I remember missing the bus for school and going, I don't even care if I get in trouble for getting caught. I'm just ditching school today. I'm not going to be late. I'm just not going to go to school and just figure it out. Go to the mall all day.
And my mom used to be like so mad that I asked her after she had to give me this.
I never actually took the bus to school though. I always walked to school.
I took the bus to school, and if I missed it, then my mom had to take me. She would give me the business because she would then have to be late to work to take us to school. So, whole problem.
Yeah, mine was.
But the benefit for my brothers was they got a ride to school instead of having to ride the bus, and they didn't get in trouble because it wasn't their fault.
Yeah, my schools were close enough to where there was one set of buses in like middle school that ran, but it was almost like not worth it. It's like, dude, by the time I get on the bus at school to come home, like I could have just walked home like with a friend or something, like, or even by myself. I don't care. Like, I'll just get moving. And then it was walk in high school until my friends could drive. And then it was like, get rides with my friends.
You know, drove to elementary, walked to middle, and then rode the bus to the rest of the way until about 11th grade. Then I would ride in the car. Not my car, but somebody was picking me up. I was done with the bus at that point, buddy.
Our friends in high school all pitched in together and bought a white stretch limo with the bullhorns on the front.
Like brought it to own.
Yeah, like purchased it for like $1,500, but these are all high school kids, so everybody threw in like $200 here, $100 there, and it was like, all right, it was like between these 5 or 6 guys, it was like, all right, whatever the event was or whatever the party was, it was like, all right, take the limo, you're driving today, everybody else is hotboxing in the back on the way to this party, or we were gonna drive it to prom, and then that got shut down because you had to go in like the school provided vehicles or whatever. So,
oh, really?
Well, yeah, because they can't have kids driving,
I mean, we weren't at prom. You're not a kid anymore, buddy.
You're still in school.
Oh, but you're of legal age to drive, or at least in Virginia you are.
No, I know, but it's like at prom, do they really want to be responsible if people, like if kids, they know that kids are going to get into something and then drive home and get in an accident?
They were definitely smart about that. That I will give them, because I know a few people who like got in car accidents and rest their soul. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
passed away.
That's jacked up.
From those type of events. So yeah, your school was smart. Thank you for that. Because we definitely were driving to prom and we were drinking and smoking and all types of other shit. So
getting into
somebody should have took the responsibility. Basically, so someone should have took the responsibility out of our hand. That was a smart decision. Congratulations to the LA schools for that.
Hey, Palmdale High did something right.
Oh, my bad. Palmdale High. And then after I give them all that congratulations, that's the school where the guy who made the song Because I Got High, who forgot everything because he got high.
Hey, you leave Afro Man alone. He's a treasure in the Antelope Valley. An absolute treasure. We also, by the way, even for Palmdale High, we were bad. Our graduating class didn't even have a grad night. Just because there was like 11 people that signed up. Everybody else was like, no, we're just going to party, right? It's like, yeah, all right, no grad night. They canceled it.
Yeah, my grad night was epic.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that. What we haven't talked about, which I'm kind of curious on. So, here's a hard-hitting question for you, Mike. If you hook up with somebody, not you necessarily, just the metaphorical you. If you hook up with somebody and years later they transition to a different gender, is that like retroactive sexual assault?
No. On who?
Well, like, okay, so I was thinking about the movie Juno the other day. Love that movie. Love it. Michael Cera's in it with, at the time, Ellen Page. Ellen Page is now Elliot Page. But they were hooking up in the movie, kissing, whatever. I get it, that's a role.
So
but
Juno, the one that was pregnant, she's now transitioned to a man?
Correct. So, if that were to happen in, like, real life, I get it. So, maybe Michael Cera doesn't care one way or the other. He was acting and whatever. But,
I mean, why would you care in real life if you don't?
I don't know. That's what it's a topic of conversation, Mike. That's what we do here.
Oh, I mean, no, I wouldn't care. Like, so you're saying, like, you dated a girl and this should be, what if she doesn't transition to a man, but she becomes a lesbian? Is that the same thing? And do you feel some type of way about that?
No, the way that I would feel about that is probably 3 things. Mostly, hey, good for them. Who cares? A little bit, did I have something to do with that? Like, am I that bad?
But what if she becomes a dom lesbian? So she's like...
But what if it was like, was I that bad? Like, I drove this person to be like, oh my God, I can't even deal
with it. What if you dealt with her so many years ago that you can't really take blame for that? Like,
no, I know. I'm saying just that would be my mentality. And then the other little bit of my mentality would be like, well, she did like me once. I wonder if I could alley-oop this into a 3-way. That's what every guy's going to think.
Man, stop it. Man.
It's like, the truth. Even if you don't care anymore, you're still going to wonder. And if not, then your brain is not curious enough and you need to read more books or find Waldo or something.
Man, I read enough books, but I ain't curious about. Once you transition and you don't even like men anymore, what would I even care about? Like, what would I think?
I don't know. I didn't know if that would, because I'm trying to think if that would fuck me up at all. Like, if I would care. I don't think I would, because I would just be like, oh, it would be as if it would be the same thing as if I dated a girl and she became a lesbian, which that happened. I think on more than one occasion I've dated more than one girl that became a lesbian.
I think I have too, brother. Honestly speaking, I think.
Or I tried to convert lesbians and it didn't work. I've tried that too.
I'm actually friends with the girl I dated that's now dom lesbian. So.
But I'm trying to think, like, if that did happen and I dated somebody or hooked up with somebody that later transitioned from a woman to a man, I think it would probably be the same feeling as, like, if they became a lesbian just without the threesome hookup. That part would go away. All the other feelings would be like, huh, wonder if I did that, or, okay, who gives a shit?
Hey, but I didn't know Juno had transitioned. Shout out for that information.
Oh, yeah?
Juno was pretty cool.
That was a while ago, but for whatever reason, I was just thinking about it recently, so very interesting. Also very interesting. At what point do you think the government started keeping, like, files on you? Or, like, keeping, like, legitimate tabs on you?
I mean, it's probably younger now, because all the cell phones.
I'm talking about Mike Crawford.
Probably 13.
Yeah.
The moment I got a pager and a cell phone.
Oh, see, that was early for me. I
didn't have a pager and a cell phone at 13. I don't know if cell phones were even out when I was 13. I'm dating myself. No, cell phones definitely went when I was 13. I think cell phone became a thing probably like 2000. I was 13 before 2000, buddy.
Yeah, pagers were up until like about 2000. Yeah, so it was like like 90, late 90s were like when pagers went from standard pagers to like texting pagers. You could write messages if you know, whatever. And then it was like everybody in about 2000, 2001 had all those Nokia phones. Like the $20, $30 phone, prepaid, blah, blah, blah. That was like the jam.
Yeah, I mean, I was from the project, so they probably kept tabs on me because we lived there. I also caught my first charge when I was young for doing some stupid so I was in the court system, so they probably knew me there. And the government probably takes tabs on everything, so I'm gonna say they probably started taking tabs around that time.
I was gonna say it's because I think I started doing some, not necessarily like anything. Yeah, I guess it was illegal, but it was like no harm, no foul illegal.
No, my first charge wasn't it was some dumb stuff that I ain't gonna talk about.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying, like, in general, people get on the government's radar, like, I would think in your teenage years, right? Unless something, sure like, even if you didn't get into anything crazy, like, just from being watched on everything now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I just believe they watch everything.
I was watching, what was I watching? I was watching Menace to Society the other day. And I was like, when they were like running from the cops, I was like, oh yeah, you used to think there was a possibility of getting away from the cops because there weren't cameras on every single corner on everybody, before there were cameras, it was a very slim possibility, but there was an outside chance you're like, I can make it, that is gone now. That is forever
Even
gone.
If you get away from the cops, somebody probably got a picture of you, or you ran past somebody's house who has a ring.
Yeah,
so gonna rewind
it's
it and show the cops what you look like.
Forever gone.
like it's crazy. Or somebody take a picture of your license plate if you're in a car. Like everything is like photoed and like it's crazy.
Well, what if you did have to work for a form of government, like a government agency? What would it be? What do you think you would enjoy the most?
What you mean? Like, I want whoever wants the CIA. I want something like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You want to be like CIA. You want to be.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on. and also get to carry a gun. So yeah, I can still shoot you too.
See, but how deep do you want to be?
I want to know everything.
See, but then you're like, if you know everything, then you're like in the Matrix. You like go home to your single studio bunker. You just live with 4 little walls.
Why? See, that's what they want you to believe. The people who know everything are your next door neighbors who live a regular life, bro. They're not hiding from you. What are they hiding from you for?
You just want to be like a CIA level air marshal, to where it's like you live amongst us, but you know everything.
No, you don't know where your neighbor works at, man. He gets in his car, he goes to work every day. You don't know where you go to work. There's nobody.
Oh, I tell all my neighbors.
Yeah, well, you don't know who none of your neighbors are and what they up to. That's why they're your neighbors and live inside their house. And I'm just a regular guy who happens to work for the CIA. Could kill you if I felt like it.
All right, so you like those Bourne movies so much. Would you rather be Jason Bourne, or would you rather be the person chasing Jason Bourne?
I'd rather be the person chasing Jason Bourne. I don't want to be Jason Bourne, man.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious. I want to see where you fall. You want to be... All right, you want to be high level. You want to be the analytics. You don't want to be the muscle. Yeah,
see, they just people who went left. Like, I just want to be a normal person. I'm not going left. I just want to, like, we're going to be all right. Like, they just wanted to, like, do too much, man. And Bourne, anyway. Like, she wanted to take over, like, the world.
All right, so... Now that we're getting closer to talking to aliens, if the government were... Hang on. If the government were to say, like, hey, we've established contact with aliens, this and that, they want you to be an ambassador, a representative of the human race, you wouldn't do it? If you got picked as a select whatever?
No, it would never happen, though, because aliens aren't real.
I know, hypothetical, Mike.
No, I don't want to talk to the aliens.
You would not be an ambassador for Earth?
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
You would just let us fall to the whims of the aliens, of these extraterrestrial...
I'm sure they could find a better ambassador than me. And then you get close and they ET phone home you and you disappear.
By the way, if aliens are extraterrestrial, does that mean that humans are terrestrial? Does that mean that we're like dogging ourselves when we say that aliens are extra?
Yeah.
See, I don't like that. I think the mentality with aliens is way wrong. It's either like people are worshiping them, or people are like, not on my watch, we're going to crush them. Like, we don't even know. Maybe they're dummies. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're super smart.
If they manage to live on a planet that doesn't have all the things that we say are sufficient for life, then they're really smart. Which is why people assume that they're smart, which is why...
But what if they're such simple life forms that don't require as much as complicated humans do? What if they're such simple life forms that's why they're dumb, is because they don't... They're like, worms.
Then the idea of what's needed, then there are a lot of people who are going to have to be questioned. First of all, you have to question, like you're doing now, the idea that they're super smart. Secondly, you have to question all the scientists here who say that we need these certain things for life because there's proof that we don't. So then there's a whole bunch of people going to be in question. So if they do exist and they can't exist without all the things they say we need for life, then they'll never let us meet them anyway, because then they'll have to redo all the stuff that they've told us for all of our lives.
See, I think that's a common misconception with science, though, is science is not, here is the answer. Science is, here's the truth up until now. The rest is speculation, and then once the new information comes in, science is allowed to readjust and go, hey, we didn't know this before.
You can't say that. People use science for actual proof. You can't do that when they're locking people up with DNA every day, saying that that's 100% proof.
See, now that's a completely different story.
But those are the same lines. You can't go with that as 100% proof science and then tell you science is saying that's just the proof for today. So tomorrow their DNA can change and it could be somebody else's. And this man shouldn't be in jail. Is what you're trying to tell me?
Let him go.
That's true.
Like, if there is a new test that shows that there's a new way to cross-examine DNA that gets a more accurate match, then yeah, that should be implemented. And it should be retroactive. Here's the thing, is anytime, like, this is going off on a tangent, but anytime, like, the lawmakers or anything find a flaw or change a law, they never seem to, or at least I haven't noticed, even though I keep my eyes shut, my head in the sand most of the time, it doesn't seem like they do anything retroactively. So, like, anybody that has affected, they don't retroactively go back and go, oh, everybody that this affects that's still incarcerated, let's go re-examine all this. Because it would take too much time, too much money, all that bullshit. So they're just saying, let's not do it. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what it looks like, and I don't care for it. That's all I'm saying. That's my 2 cents on that. Thanks a lot, Mike. I just wanted you to talk to aliens for the love of pajamas.
Nah, I'm good. I'm talking to aliens because either they're too smart and they're going to like make me disappear, or they're dumb and they're going to make us question everything we know about life. So let's just leave the aliens where they are.
Oh, which is where? At the Earth's core?
Nowhere. They don't exist. They don't exist, buddy.
Oh, man. Speaking of not talking to aliens, I'm antisocial as shit, man. I have trouble keeping up with family and friends. Like, it's almost like work. It's hard to do. Like, a couple of my best friends, we got together not too long ago, and it was the first time in, like, over a decade that, like, 4 of us got together. Or even really talked. Which is bananas. It's like anytime I call somebody, or like anytime I get a call from a family member or one of my friends, a phone call is like, ah, shit. What's the matter? Like, that's my initial reaction with any phone call. And I kind of assume if I'm calling anybody, it's the same reaction. It's never good. That's how infrequently I talk to people. It's always like oh, something must be wrong.
It's crazy, man.
It's not that crazy. How often do you talk to everybody? You text a lot, though.
I talk to people every day. I talk to my friends on a daily basis, bro.
I know. That's weird to me. Who talks to their friends? Like, that's weird.
Me. I talk to my family, not on a daily basis, but my mom. But the rest of my family, I try to keep it pretty consistent. And I thought I was antisocial. You were way worse than I am.
Oh, I know. You're way better of a person than I am. I don't like going anywhere unless there's pizza, ice cream, or guilt-free sex. I don't want to go. And guess what? I'm married and I need to go on a diet, so I don't want to talk to fucking anybody.
There you go, buddy.
I seriously do need to get back on my diet, though. Like, I'm going to go hardcore. I'm not even going to watch Mystic Pizza. That's how hardcore of a diet I'm going on.
What's Mystic Pizza?
It's a movie with Julia Roberts that supposedly is delightful. I still haven't seen it. But Julia Roberts is one of my gals.
One of your gals.
She is. Are you going to diet with me, Mike?
Depends on what type of diet you're gonna go. I need to go on
seafood
a diet.
diet.
So if it's
seafood and eat it.
I can't afford seafood. I couldn't be a pescatarian. Seafood is too expensive where I live, bro.
Seafood is expensive anywhere you go, dude. Anywhere.
No, it's probably a lot more expensive where you live.
It is, because I don't live on a coast where they're just shucking them in all day long.
Like, I had people there ask me how to do open and get to the crab meat. Bro. Like, what? At first it was like, they asked me because I'm black, and then I realized no, because I'm from the East Coast, Mike. Everything is not racist.
Did you think that was something that like everybody knew how to do?
Yes. I figured everybody just ate crabs and shit. And so you're having a crab feast, and half the people here don't even know how to get to the crab meat. What are you having a crab feast for? So everyone can eat everything but the crab? You should have just called it a seafood bowl.
Yeah. So do you eat everything in the crab, or do you just eat?
I don't eat crabs anymore, man. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like bougie at this point, if you want to call it that. But I'm not
bougie. Crab is awesome. Or did you just get traumatized from crabs?
Crab is just way too hard for that little bit of meat. Get you some crab legs and some shrimp, call it a day. That's seafood for me, buddy.
Well, crab legs still come from a crab, Mike.
Yeah, but they're not on the crab, and you ain't got to dig through stuff to get them. I'm talking about like the crab, actual crab, like snow crab legs. Like I can crack them like a You know.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
about it. That's as messy as I'm getting. I'm not digging all through a crab anymore.
Honestly, dude, I love crab, but I am over getting to it. It's like, unless there's something where I can, I can pull out a decent piece. I'm not trying to put together a piece. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I got enough to scrape together a bite. Nope, I'm not trying to do that.
I'm sorry if I offended you all, but yeah, you're not worth it to me.
Oh, see, but I still love it. So every now and again, I'll do it just because I'll bear it. But I don't know. I don't know. I need to get back on something. I need to start being more social. I need to talk to people more. I need to start going out and doing more stuff.
All right, I'll start texting you more, man. You can talk to me more.
No, that's okay.
Maybe talking to me will make you talk to other people.
I just don't think people even want to be around. Like, dude, when I sneeze like it's the loudest thing happening. Like, it's not even on purpose. Like, I think it's just as I got older, or maybe it's the more kids you have, the louder you sneeze or something. Like,
well,
I don't know.
Do you think people don't want to be around you because you sneeze loud?
I don't know. It's just one of the things that's like.
Loud come from?
I don't know. It's just one of the things that's annoying as shit. It's like, God, I have really bad gas. Like sometimes, like
people love you, Brendan. Like that's not really a thing. Like
dude,
people don't really.
I have really bad gas.
Excuse me. You can say excuse me. I mean, besides that, like
I've been at parties, Mike, where my farts have been so bad where I've had to put a dryer sheet in my shorts to like filter out the smell. You never done anything like that?
I've never heard of a fart that, and I've had some stinky farts in my day.
Bro.
I've never heard a fart that stinky that you had to put dry.
What are you talking about?
Brendan, that is crazy, bro. Like,
it's not crazy. It's crazy.
I don't even know how stinky that would have to be. So the next one came through the dry sheet, made the movement.
Yeah. Dude, you never did that? Like when you were trying to, like, smoking weed in your room back in the day through the toilet paper holder and you put a dryer sheet at the end? You blow the smoke through that? That way it filters out the smell?
Nope, never done it.
Well, if there are any underage kids listening to this podcast, that's a way to trick your parents.
Yeah,
I do not recommend it, though. Just be open and honest with them.
Yeah, I never heard that in my life. My brother said I had a fart so stinky I needed a dryer sheet in my shorts. Hey, Brenda, that was a hell of a fart. I'm gonna give you that though.
Party hard, man.
Respect.
Oh, speaking of partying hard, did you know that Sports Center had an entire segment dedicated to Tom Brady having a birthday? What the fuck?
Absolutely.
Dude, that is over the top.
They consider him the GOAT, man.
Well, he is, but still.
He's not, but okay.
Who do you think is the GOAT then?
Montana is the GOAT.
See, I love Joe. He, up until Tom Brady, there was no denying it in my brain, but Tom Brady just proves over and over that
I'm root for the cheaters, man.
He's figured out a way. That makes him the best.
Yeah, cheaters never prosper in my book.
Unless you're Tom Brady. Then you get everything. He just figured out the best way to do it.
You get away with everything.
He cheated on his wife the right way. Book. How do you do that?
He cheated on his wife? What?
Yeah, didn't he cheat on his wife with Gisele Bündchen? And then, he alley-ooped cheating into marrying somebody who's richer than him and hotter than him. Like, he even cheated the correct way. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, if you are going to cheat, sorry to tell you.
And by the way, I don't even know if that's true. I think it's true. I might have made it up to defend him in something he doesn't want to be defended in.
Either way, it's a good point. In this moment, I'm going to let the whole world know if you're going to cheat, cheat up. Don't cheat down, buddy. Take Tom Brady's advice. Go up.
Yeah, definitely. When you go to court to defend your life on that one, you don't want the judge to be like, what the fuck were you thinking? You want to be like, yeah, I get it, man. All right, I'll take it easy on the alimony.
Yeah,
Which you don't need anyway because now you're taken care of. You got a sugar mama. You're good.
Sugar mama. Alimony ain't even going to be costing you. It's going to be costing you a little bit of money that's assigned to you, and the whole time you live it off your wife, buddy.
Speaking of mooching off the teat, all these NBA free agent signings. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, the NBA just burns money.
Burns money.
It's crazy.
Because they're making so much of it and they only have to play 12 players per team. Like, the fact that they can spend $40 million on one guy, like, you couldn't.
Well, that's the thing that a lot of people don't get is, you know, it's like, I've been hearing the comparison a lot lately of, like, let's say, you know, Trae Young is going to be making the same amount of money as Patrick Mahomes. Like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Or somebody who's even like mediocre-ish, you know, somebody who's great but not great type of a player is getting paid the same much as like a Patty Mahomes or something. But at the same time, you have to think the same philosophy that you just said. These teams are bringing in, granted, the NFL is bringing in more money, but
the NFL is bringing in more money overall.
53 players to put the cap under, as the NBA has, you know, a significant amount of money that they're allowed to spend on their players, but it doesn't have to be distributed. The piece of the pie is bigger for all these caps.
Yeah, it's like 70. It's a $70 million cap for 40. A difference in 40 players. Like, do you understand that? Like, so like 70 million, which is a lot of money that you have to distribute amongst 40 players, because the first 138 is distributed against, a lot of the time, you know, the top players like Dak's getting 40 million, you know, and Amari's getting 20 million. So you get to 100 real quick when you get to your top players, and you have to distribute the rest through a roster. Well, the NBA's got a $140 million cap for 12 players. Like, you have a $210 million cap, but you have to do 53. We have 140. We have to do 12. So that's why Steph and two other dudes on this team can all make 30 million, and you can still put together a decent team.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like you said, like the NBA is based off of superstars, so you only have to pay 3 people top money, and then you could pay Andrew Bogut whatever you know, $2 million a year, and it way levels everything out to where, yeah, some, you know, like Drew Holiday is going to get a, you know, a monster contract, and you're like, what? Like, Evan Fournier is getting this crazy deal from the Knicks, and you're like,
20 million. For
okay.
The NFL upsets me when it does. Like, certain people, okay, I get it. Then certain people, it makes me mad. Evan Fournier, 20 million. Chris Paul, 30 million. Who else? Michael Conley, $24 million. It's over. It's over. Michael Conley, no, respect that man, because he's earned the money. He's made $200 million in NBA contracts. He's never made an All-Star team. That's disrespectful to the money. Like, you're just giving it away at this point. Like, you're just giving it away at this point. I'm sorry, you are. Like, you're just giving it away at this point.
It's absolutely true. Just because you can doesn't mean you should give it away. It's pretty gnarly. But all right, so let's
$200 in 8 years.
So let's see some of the biggest individual moves or like team moves. So the Nets didn't really do a whole lot of anything. They signed Patty Mills.
Yeah, which is a key move because they're gonna need a backup point guard, being that they lost Dinwiddie. They didn't have no.
They re-signed Blake Griffin, who is dog shit now anyway.
But he's gonna be decent just in case people go down with injuries. They just need scores and a little bit of size. They're gonna need to find them They need to sound like DeMarcus Cousins or something. They need some size. They don't have any size.
That's kind of funny. Is it seems like
but they drafted Day'Ron Sharpe, and Day'Ron Sharpe is an athlete. He's about 6'11" from North Carolina. So, I mean, he can play. I don't know how much he fits into a championship roster.
Yeah, so it looks like the Nets just kind of solidified what they had. They weren't making too many moves. The Lakers went out and just basically tried to make LeBron happy, I guess, with his old buddies. But
I like the moves, but I don't know if they're going to stay healthy enough. They're old.
Well, here's the reason why I like the Russell Westbrook move.
I hated it.
At first, I hated it too until I had to try and convince myself to like it as a Lakers fan. And then I think I did. So, with somebody like Russ on the team, you got LeBron, AD, both 1A guys. You got Russ, who I would call a high B, a high 2, like a 2A guy. So, if one of those 3 guys goes down in the playoffs, you still have 2 high caliber superstars running through the playoffs. Or like, let's say LeBron does go down in the playoffs or something like that. Russ can easily take over and manage the team. So as far as when the playoffs come, I think that will be beneficial. But up until then, I'm extremely skeptical.
Well, here's my thing. If someone goes down, I don't care. It can't be AD. If AD goes down, the Lakers are shit. Because they're already going to be bad defensively with all the guys they've added. Yeah. Without Anthony Davis, covering up a lot of their mistakes, it's going to be really bad. Because LeBron started to say, you're a 19. You just ain't defending at that level anymore. Carmelo Anthony, I don't think he's defended ever. And now he's in year 19, so he's definitely not defended.
Exactly.
And Westbrook, if he's going against the right guy, he'll get into a defensive stance and try. But he doesn't make the extra effort plays on defense, like the rotations. Like once he picks, he
turns around and looks.
And he doesn't engage in the play.
When he gets picked, he literally, you can watch him start, like he's looking back at the hoop, but making his move for the transition. Like he's already like, this play's
he's
over.
Already he's looking.
That's why he's quote unquote,
so he can try to go steal a rebound.
Yeah, he's quote unquote so great in transition. Yeah, because he's already going 3 steps before anybody else is.
Yeah, no, but on paper they added the shooting necessary now, so I actually like it on paper. I'm not gonna lie, I like it on paper. I don't know how healthy they're gonna be, and Anthony Davis is gonna play like. He's going to carry the weight of a lot of the weight of this team because he's going to be responsible to be the best player at this stage in their careers. He's the best player on this team. And he's going to be required to anchor the defense as the center. They're going to have him playing a lot of minutes at center.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he doesn't play more than 55 games, to be honest.
If they can monitor his minutes that way, then, yeah, that would be good for him because come playoffs, you need him healthy. But having played minutes at the center and bang with those guys and still make sure you get your rotations and everything right because you're the defensive, you're making up for everybody. It's going to be tough. But I like the pieces on paper offensively with LeBron and Westbrook out there. Like you need pure shooting because they're straight drivers at this point. LeBron is a 34% three-point shooter, so I'll give him his credit. But Westbrook, it's like 19%. They're just going to leave him wide open.
Well, that's the thing is with Westbrook, it's like all of his stats are amazing on the nights that he's amazing. And it's like when he's clicking, yeah, dude, he'll drop 48. He'll have 14 rebounds and 8 assists. Like, he'll be going bananas. But then the next night, he'll go, 6 for 20 from the field, and it won't be the same thing, but he'll be firing and playing like he is going off. So that's the thing that you kind of love and hate about Russell Westbrook is he always plays like he's going off. But when he's not going off, you're like, bro, we still need to win this game. Can we adjust what we're doing here, please? He's like, no, I got this. You're like, no, you don't.
Yeah, that's Russ's problem, man. He don't understand that he ain't on every night. He don't care if he missed 40 shots. He's keep going, man.
He's like, no. It's going to click right now. Well, then on that note, we got to transition to your Bulls making all kinds of moves.
Yeah, man. Yeah, top 4 seed in the East this year. Let's go Bulls. We need one more piece though. We need to trade Lauri Markkanen for something. But we've already offered him a qualifying offer, so if nobody else comes to get him, I'll play him at the starting power. I'd play him at the starting power forward next to Vujic. I really want a defensive center next to Vujic though.
Do you think that's a move that, depending on where they're at come trade deadline, that they'll address it then, or you think they're just going to try and ride this out?
I don't know, man, because I think they're going to try to play this small ball lineup and play Pat Williams at power forward, which I'm not totally opposed to, but all of those guys are, what, Lonzo 6'5", so it will be 6'5", between 6'5" and 6'9", all the way across. Even Vujacic is, what, 6'9", 6'10", so, like, we're literally 6'5" to 6'9", all the way across, so that would probably mean switching everything, which makes Vujacic, I don't know how good he is defensively.
Well, the other thing is he doesn't play very tall. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
So
he gets rebounds. I don't know how. He averages about 10
he just
rebounds.
muscles.
But he doesn't.
He grits
but he doesn't
the
play
rebounds
tall.
Out. Yeah.
Everybody else is going to have to rebound. I mean, but we have all tall guys, so they better rebound. Levine rebounds at a pretty decent clip for a shooting.
Yeah,
guard.
but Levine wants his. He wants his respect.
Lonzo rebounds pretty good for a point guard. But I really would have, even though I don't like the guy, I really would have taken your boy that just signed with Cleveland.
Drummond?
No, he signed with Philly. Drummond, yeah. Mm-hmm. He would have been a nice fit next to Vujacic because he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
And then we just let Hassan Whiteside sign with somebody else. I would have took him.
He just signed with the Jazz.
With the Jazz. We signed the Jazz backup center Tony Bradley, the ex-North Carolina. I don't know if he's starting material, though. And they better not start like Nene Hilario. Oh, my goodness.
What do you think about the Heat? I'm telling you, man, the Heat were making some moves I liked.
I don't think it changes that. I think they're still a second. They're in the same tier as us in the East. I think the top two, depending on what Philly does with Ben Simmons, it would be top three. Like that, they didn't enter that tier with adding Lowry. Like he doesn't make them that much better. Like we all in the second tier needing maybe an injury to get to the finals or something like that. Like that's the tier we're all in at this point, I believe. That's just me. I think the Nets, the Bucks, and Philly, depending on what they do with Ben Simmons, are a tier above everybody else in the East. And then it's just the second tier, and it's the rest of us.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. But I think the Heat definitely, they're going to be one of the better defensive teams, if not the best defensive team.
But they're going to struggle scoring like they did this year.
What do you think about them signing Sideshow Bob to a 4-year extension?
I like it. I mean, he personifies what the Heat are about, like they're grit and grind team. But in the playoffs, like when they come down to it, you need somebody who's gonna put the whole ball in the hole. And as much as I love Jimmy, he doesn't have 3-point range, which is this is NBA now. And he's not a guaranteed bucket. Like right. He's a good go-to guy. He can get you a bucket, but that's not a guaranteed bucket. Jimmy Butler, sorry to say, and I love him because he's an ex-Bull and he worked his way to his position. So he earned every dollar he's gonna get as someone whose parents left him outside. So respect that man, but he's not as the superstar on your team. He's not a guaranteed bucket. Well,
yeah, that's kind of.
He can make the play for a bucket, though.
See, that's kind of the thing that I thought about the Kyle Lowry trade. Was like, I like Kyle Lowry, but you did not acquire somebody who is going to get you the guaranteed bucket.
Yeah.
Who you can count on to drain it in playoff time. Like, that's not what you did. You acquired somebody who you're like, we got a good shot, but, we're kind of throwing our hands up in the air. Not, oh, this is going in, or we're drawing up the play for them. You're like, okay, who's getting it this time, No,
they're driving the play for Jimmy, hoping that Jimmy can be his man, get a double team, and they have enough confidence that Kyle can hit an open shot.
Right.
He can't create the shot. We're confident we think you can hit an open shot in a big moment.
But we think, exactly. And that's the reason why they're still in that, they're going to remain in that tier you were talking about, because they didn't get the guaranteed clutch shot that they need. They got the added consistency they needed from a position player, but they didn't get
a Kyrie injury
clutch.
And a Middleton injury, and everyone feels like they have a chance to go to the finals. Like that's how close. That's how I'm saying. Like it's not that far. I don't believe in the East. The West, there's a lot of good teams in the West too. But the teams at the top of the West, I don't believe they have championship DNA. That's the difference between the teams at the top of the East and the teams at the top of the West. Like 2 years ago, Philly was in a 7-game series with the eventual champion. We know what KD and Kyrie's resume speaks for. and Giannis just won the championship. Like that's championship DNA. That's Miami. They win the championship too. You know what I'm saying? Last year. So like that's championship medal. Utah ain't never won nothing. Phoenix just made to the finals this year, but they ain't never won nothing. Everybody on the Clippers besides Kawhi Leonard, they ain't never won nothing. Like they don't have no real championship medal. You know, LeBron went in there with a 7th seed last year, and if they was healthy, he didn't fear any of them to get to the finals. Like, what? Y'all ain't won. Y'all ain't proven anything to anybody. Y'all ain't won nothing. Get up, Donovan Mitchell. You the best player on that team. You ain't won nothing. Get out of my way. Like, so now I can say Devin Booker they got some championship medal. They know what it's about now. So I'm gonna give them a little bit more credit. But yeah, the West just don't have that superstar power guys that have championships besides Kawhi, like championships and championship DNA and that type of thing.
Well, you got your boy Steph that just got paid. Again.
Now they'll be back in the mix of things, and they have championship DNA. So
yep.
They'll be back in the mix of things.
How about your boy signing another $200 million contract?
$500 million off NBA money.
That's amazing.
$500 million to shoot a basketball
from a kid out of Davidson that changed the game. Changed the game.
And just so everyone knows, his family is from Virginia. So just the whole world knows that's why his dad went to Virginia Tech. His family is from Virginia. Southern Virginia, I might add, not Northern Virginia like myself, but they are from Southern Virginia. His grandma actually still lives in Southern Virginia. Shout out Steph.
So you're a Yankee Virginian?
What?
You're a Yankee. You're a Union Virginian.
Don't ever make me a Yankee and no Sox fan. Yankee and Mike we don't do that. No.
I know you don't.
X that out, but I know what you were trying to say.
Oh man, you still? Hey, by the way, this is just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood Spider-Man. You got to think of the Matt Stafford bet. Because football season's coming up.
Season is right around the corner.
And if we're drafting in 2.5 weeks, like you're going to have to come up with this pretty quick here, buddy. So, summer's coming to a close, even though it's only August. We still have plenty of lovely summer. I think it might be a Crocs bet, man.
What? Yours is an earwax bet. I think I might make you like rock Crocs or something. I got to think this out, though. But I think I might just make it.
Something tells me a little birdie got in your ear.
No little birdie got in my ear about this one.
Okay, all right. Well, whatever it is, you better think of it fast.
I am,
buddy.
Matt Stafford, he's gonna help me because he look like he about to miss some games with his broken sound. So, you know,
what happened to him?
He had a thumb injury. He back in practice.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Got X-rayed. It was just a bruise on his thumb or something. He'll be fine.
He does that like once a year, though. He hits the center's helmet, so I just need him to,
He is a professional, Mike.
And avoid injuries.
You know who's not professional, by the way?
Who?
The children that work at dispensaries. So I went to a local dispensary recently. We were hosting a party. I like to have party favors for any and all people. And, dude, so it's so funny because patrons in these dispensaries, like now that weed's legal everywhere, you can just walk into a store with any valid license that says, you know, like you're buying alcohol, whatever. The people that go in these stores that are purchasing items treat the people that work there like they're trained professionals instead of the stoned children that they are. And like they're just high kids behind a counter going, yeah, man, that one's good. Yeah, this is good. What do you like? They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're not scientists. You got these, you know, it's like I've seen doctors walk in there and are taking, you know, it's kind of beautiful though, taking this very serious advice from a person that's like, yeah, man, it's really good. Like if you're just trying to chill out, play some video games and like go to sleep. It's like this dude is in his scrubs buying this stuff. It's pretty amazing.
He's out here in his. You said that you saw somebody in the store in their scrubs?
Yeah, it's California, man. Anything goes.
Scrubs.
It's legal. not a big deal.
In your actual scrubs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
like
think
he could have took
his name tag.
like,
He might have been wearing his name tag. I didn't look.
That's what I'm saying. I hope he at least took his name tag out. Like, come on, boy. We don't want to think our local people who take care of us are stoned. Like, even though I think you should have your own personal life, I don't want to know that you're stoned. Like, you might work at the hospital, then I see you one day, I'm like, I don't want him touching me. Yo, he's smoking.
Would you be weirded out if that same person was buying, booze at a liquor store?
Yes. I don't want to think of the people who are taking care of me as like an alcoholic or weed hitter anyway. I understand that you do it. I want you to have your personal life. I just don't want to see it.
Gotcha.
Like the dude, like if Dr. Andrew, the best ACL dude in the world, we can't go out to dinner the night before and you have 4 glasses of wine. Like, what? You about to do surgery on me tomorrow? And he's like, yo, I come here all the time. I do this all the time. I don't care. I don't want to see you doing that. Like, you could have told me to stay home. Like, I didn't need to come here for you to be ready. No. This is not, no, I don't want to see that.
Oh, come on, man. It's not that big of a deal. So pilots, firefighters.
It really isn't. I just don't want to see it. Like, I just don't want to see it because then my mind goes, there. Like, oh man, this dude's about to be drunk while he's having surgery. You know what I mean? Like, no.
I got you. You know what the other funny thing too about like these dispensaries is, like the patrons talk to these bud tenders like they want them to be their buddies. Like they're trying to be like extra cool with them. Like you could tell everybody in there is trying too hard to like be cool. And I don't know if that's just because you're buying weed or if it's like that thing that's just programmed in your head. Like you got to be cool to them because they're selling you drugs. But
yeah, but you
that's
gotta
the
be cool
old
to buy drugs and you got to be cool to sell drugs. So yeah,
but
man.
That's an old mentality because you used to have to be cool to your drug dealer so that they would come back. Or so that they would sell to you again, like pick up your calls. Because if you pissed them off, they'd be like, man, I'm just not dealing to that person anymore. And you'd be like,
no,
crap.
Weed is a cool thing now, man. So you gotta
but here's
the
thing:
man.
is that bud tender? You don't have to be cool with them. It's a store. They'll be open tomorrow. And by the way, that person probably
cool
won't
to
even
your
be there.
7-Eleven people?
That person probably won't be there. They're gonna be stoned. They're gonna forget they were scheduled to work that day. Like something's gonna happen. You don't have to be like. Get cool points from your local bud tender, which they got to change that name too. That is so lame.
Maybe they trying to work it so that maybe they can get some deals in the future. So like, yeah, if I'm nice today, he'll be nice to me tomorrow.
It's beyond being nice. I'm nice. You could tell when people are trying too hard because it's not even like they're trying to get a deal or a discount, which I try and do. I try and be personable, but they're more like, when the same person gets complimented on their clothes over and over, and you're like, it's not even that cool of a t-shirt. Like, I don't know. It's just the extra reach for no good reason. Again, to just somebody who might as well be working anywhere else. It just so happens to be that they sell weed instead of clothes or, bananas. I don't know. It just seems odd to want to gain their affection if it doesn't matter. If they're just strictly the only thing between you and the transaction.
Nah, they're just trying to make it so they can get some deals next time. They just go about
They're probably just volunteers anyway. The people that work there, they probably don't even get paid. They just get a discount on everything that...
Man, as much money as the weed industry making, they better be getting paid.
I know, right? They should be like the highest paid retail salesman in the industry. If you're going off of profit, right? Profit
Absolutely.
Margins. Well, anyway, speaking of cocaine cowboys, have you been watching anything new lately?
No, Big Brother. Big Brother's on, bro.
You've been watching it?
Absolutely.
Garbage.
Are you disrespectful? And Married at First Sight is on. It's back on.
Is that one of your go-tos?
Absolutely.
Yes. Trashy TV is back. I've been waiting. It's been a while since you've watched some trashy TV, which, by the way, I never saw that weird dating show with the texting that you watched. How did that play out? Was it any good?
It was okay.
Was it called The Cell or some weird shit?
It's a couple of them, man. It's weird TV. You want to know the weirdest show though? Is Temptation Island. Like, I don't even get the premise on that.
So what is the premise?
I mean, the premise is like they bring you and your couple, and then they bring people of the opposite sex to
just
tempt
to try and bone and
Girls,
break up your relationship.
Less tempted, men more tempted. Who you think on like?
That's ridiculous, dude.
We don't need an island for this. You bring some girls out here that's gonna act like they're gonna give some dudes some butt. Yeah, somebody gonna take it. I'm not gonna say all of them are bad dudes. A couple of them are taking it. They ain't even thinking twice.
I'd be so insecure. I'd just be like, man, she's gonna leave me for sure. But also, like, if I was gonna break up with somebody, for sure I would sign up for that show. I'd just be like, breaking up anyway. They're gonna throw this incredible ass at me. Like, sign me up. I would stay in a bad relationship if I had a chance to get on a show like that. Temptation Island. You know the kind of tits and ass they have on that show? I'm sure the wieners are great for the women too. I don't know. Never seen it, but I'm sure that they're all like Greek gods just sculpted wearing almost nothing. Like, bro, hook a brother up. And you get a free vacation out of it on like a resort. Come on, dude.
Pretty damn good island. I'm not gonna.
I've stayed in bad relationships for way dumber reasons than that. Like the inconvenience of commuting for, a different girl. Fuck that, man. I'll stay in this relationship. Maybe it'll work out.
Oh, man, bro.
Can't afford gas money this week.
Bro.
We gotta stay together.
Where's my wallet?
Oh, shit. All right, well,
hey,
on that note, everybody, we're going to queue up this
I feel bad for that lady.
Spotify playlist. We're going to hit you with some Bad Brains and some MF Doom. So watch out for that. And
whoever you were, Brendan apologizes now.
I'm not apologizing to anybody. Life's too much fun, everybody. Smoke it to the filter. Have a good week, y'all. Later.